Fine. So during last class, what did we see? We saw the maps, right? The visualizations and maps, how we can use the maps and for what purpose, right? So different
Yeah.
we have seen in the map. So today we are going to see these few things like box plot, then a scatter plot, clustering, and also we'll see these few things again, okay, later also. And this tree maps, table calculation, calculated fields, and this will be, we'll have it continued because this will be required as we go ahead, right? Always we have to create some calculated fields. So we'll just start with the calculated fields and how we can prepare our data, right? We can get our data computed. So yeah, and we'll see how the table calculation works. Okay, these things works. So we'll see these things in today's class, or whatever possible. Okay, to complete, we'll see all those things. So let's start with the table calculation. Fine,
Okay.
and we'll go back to this others. Fine. So now, yeah, I think did not say that. Fine. Okay, so we have seen these few things. Okay, let's assume that we would like to, just analyze, some of the what data we have here, sales data, right? And we would like to get the sales informations by different categories, right? By different segments. So let's see how we can, analyze our data and how uh, this table calculation will help us in analyzing our data. Okay. So first of all, we want to suppose we want to analyze our data for years, some years, and the sales, okay, sales by segment, okay, in different years, right? Let's see, uh, or sales of category, different category in different years, might might be right. So let's see how we can check that. And for the particular year, we may want to check the data in a particular year. Okay. So this sum of sales, right? It has to be in the data pen. So we'll see. And the order date, right? Order date, we would like to have it in the columns. Fine. And then either the region or region-wise data we can check, or segment information we can check. We can have it in the row. Fine. Now we have data from 2011 to 2014. We may want to get the sales information, right? Now we would like to check the sales informations. We have our sales information. We would like to know, right, what is the percentage of this home office, maybe, okay, in 2012, right? In 2012 we would like to know the percentage of home office of the entire, or we would like to know the percentage of home office, right, only in this year. In this year sales, 2012 year sales, right, what is the percentage of home office or corporate office or this consumer office, right? Let's assume we are just going to we want to get the percentage of corporate, okay, in 2012, 2011. We are not bothering about any other data, right? So first of all, what we will do, we will we'll just filter out our data. We'll just have this 2011 data, okay, in our, and we want to get the percentage among these 2011 cells. What is the percentage of home office, right? What is the percentage of home office among this 2011, right? Or we can also get something like, okay, for in some month, we want to analyze the data in for some month, maybe January, February, March, or uh, because of some other reason, we want to check. Okay, there may be some offers we have given, okay, and we want to check on that month how it which of the segment worked better due to that due to a campaign, right? So we'd like to see like the data in that way, fine. So suppose 2011 data we want to check. What we'll do, we can just filter the data or the date, and this way you can use your filters to 2011 here data you want to just have, right? So yeah, we'll just apply this entire thing and we'll keep it as the show filters, and, and we want to just have the 2011 data, right? Now we want to only get our percentage, only we want to see the percentage only for this home office, right? So how we can get the percentage of home office, you know? So this is the table, right? This is the table, and we would like to get only the percentage. So what is the way we can get the percentage? So can you suggest a way like how we can get the percentage?
A percentage of the table, you said?
Percentage of this home office.
Okay.
So yeah, so there may be many ways, right? We can either we can calculate the data entire
The whole data, yeah, the entire data
yeah, yeah, either
that
we can get the
simple value
total,
and yeah,
correct?
yeah,
We can get the total, then we can divide by home office data.
the
We can
individual
divide
value, yeah.
the total, right? So that is the way. But Tableau here, Tableau provides the easy way to compute all of these things. Okay, and what is that
Okay.
easy way? Here you can see we have table calculation. Okay, add table calculation. So for this table, right, there are predefined calculations we already have. Okay. So what are those calculations? You can see here. We can get a difference from first data. Okay. Maybe difference across here, and we'll see what is compute using. Okay. And here what are the different calculations we have, and all of these are very useful, right? All of these calculations we will be always using for some of the regions. Maybe we want to get the difference of sales in 2011 and 2012 and 2012 and 2013. So all of this computation we may want. Also this difference, after this difference we may want to get the percent difference, the percentage of that difference, right? The same thing again, we may want to calculate the percent from total, right? Rank, percentile, or running total, or moving calculation we may want to do, right? See, all of these various calculations are already available in Tableau. So you can apply these various calculations in Tableau. Just it's so handy, right? So we'll see all of these things, okay, one by one. Some, but now we are just going to find out like what will be the percentage of this corporate, right, in 2012, 2011, right? So here you can see, I don't, there is no data available. If I am using this difference from, right, and I don't see any data, right? So what does that mean? that this is not finding any data to calculate the difference from, right? So they and why that is so? There is, see here, you have the compute using, right? And this says that compute table across. And table across means, let me just get the another data sheet. Okay. Here we have this date and then segment and then cells. So this is table across, right? In this entire row, it will be, this is in the horizontal, this horizontal way. This is table across, fine, from left to right, and table down is from top to bottom. That is table down. Okay, this entire table, and table means entire table. Okay, and we will have different terms. We'll have cell. Cell means only this one cell, right? And also we'll have a pane. Okay, pane means if we use something like, okay, let's get another uh, row. Okay, and that may be something like market. So this is now I have included this partitioning field Africa, right? Market, and these all these markets create again some partition. Here you can see this is creating some partitions. Okay, so in this entire things for Africa, these values, this comes under pane, one pane, right? These are one pane, and each of these cells, these are each intersection point, right? These are cell, fine, and entire table, this entire table, right? This is a entire table, right? So that is table, and table across means this side. Table across means from left to right, in this row from left to right is table across, fine. From top to bottom, table across. This is from top to bottom, it is table across. So table across and down means table across and down. Okay, so it will go like this, then this, then this. This is table across and down, right? So we'll see all of these here. You can see now our table calculation, right? We wanted to use the table calculation, edit the table calculation. We can see here, we just clearing the table calculation. Now all the data is available. So how we can compute here? Only we have one row, only we have one column, right? So one column means we will not have table across. We don't have any table across. So in that case,
Yeah, we don't have.
yeah, only we have
Yeah.
table down, right?
Okay.
So only we have table down or cell. You can see,
Okay.
and this will give you all the options available for this data. Okay, here you are not seeing any pane, right? We don't have any pane, and we
Yeah.
don't have any data selected. That's why here also not giving any option, right? So if you
Okay.
just, yeah, now if you see, if I give like table down, right? So what is doing? It is now calculating the difference of second from one. This one from second from previous one, right? So
Okay.
relative here you can give the next. Next means now it is just creating the difference, first minus second, then second minus third, right? And for this data, last data, we don't have anything to create difference, right? For the last one. So in that case, it will not create anything. So similarly, you can relative to which? Relative to previous one. Now, if it is previous one, so for the first one, consumer, you don't have any previous data. If you don't have any previous data in the table up, right? So it will not be able to create any difference. So now the corporate minus consumer sales will be created here. The home office minus this corporate sales will be created here, right? So relative to what you are just able to see. So relative to first, now you are able to see the relative to first, always first. Okay, this calculation, all the calculations are doing related to first, right? This corporate minus first one, home office minus first one, right? So this is how you are able to create the difference from, right? So now you are able to see here also the table down and table across, how this table across works, right? Table across works in the row from left to right, right? Table down works from right to left. Now, what we wanted to do, we wanted to know the percentage of home office, sales in this year, 2011. In 2011, we want to get the percentage of home office. So, what will be the percentage of home office in 2011? So, what we can do, we have to change the calculation type,
Yes.
right? This is
Percentage of.
this is
Okay.
percent of total,
Okay.
right? We have to get the percent of total. So in that case, now you can see all of these are created automatically. If I give table across, I don't have right data here in this across, so it is just one cell. Now it will just create what consumer sales divided by itself, because the 100 it will be 100%, right? So it will just have 100%, because in table across we don't have any other data. So for this row we don't have data. Now if you go to this place here, right, and we create the table across, how it will be? Let's see. Add calculation, right? And we want to check the percent difference, percent total, and table across. Here you can see that percentage is created table across here like this, and this will be total 100%. You will see each row has 100%. Okay, like this, and you can just check it. Okay, fine. So now table across means it will just consider this entire row. Okay, table down means it will just consider this entire column. Table down from top to bottom, from top to bottom, from top to bottom, like this. Fine. Now, so for getting this percentage of home office, what we have to do? We are just going to say this compute using, see here also, once you have calculated the table calculation, you have done the table calculation, right? So in that case, you have to, if you are not getting the correct data, you have to check the computation method, how you have computed, right? So this can be computed like table down, or also you can get the segment for computation. You can also just give the compute using, you can say segment. It's the same thing, right? For entire segment. Here you are taking the entire segment and it is giving you the correct data, right? So either you can just give this total this table down or segment. So we'll just see table down. Right, so this way you will be able to find out many of the calculation, okay, table calculation, right? And yeah, we'll see also like how we can get the different in the quarter, right? Suppose here in this case we have Africa, right? We have APAC, we have Canada. So we would like to analyze our data based on these informations, based on maybe we want to get the data for Africa only. In this market, Africa market, right? We want to get the total percentage, like what is the total of consumer, in Africa market, what is the sales in this segment, consumer segment in 2011? What is the percentage of uh, total sales, right? In that case, what you have to check, if you want to just get the data only for Africa market, we want to know the percentage of sales in 2011, want to know the percentage of sales in 2011 for consumer segment, right, in the Africa market. Then what we have to do? Any idea?
Yeah, we have to filter. Yeah, we have to filter the market to just Africa and year to 2011.
Okay, if we just yet no, what we no, we want to the entire data set. From entire data set, this 4 year data set is there. Okay, 2011
Okay.
to 2014. So among all of
Okay.
these data sets, so we want to analyze 5 year data, and we want to understand within that 5 years, under your 4 year data we have. Okay, we want to understand these 4 years. Okay, which year we have got the better sales. Okay, we want to analyze which year we had the better sales, and which segment was the better uh, performing segment in this market, Africa market. So now as we have that in mind, that we want to analyze our 4 years data, and maybe there is some trouble happening. Okay, trouble is going on for in this market, right? And we want to analyze what went well in that time, during that time. Okay, if we had a good sales, then what did we do? Okay, we want to also check those kind of things, right? And now what is going on, going wrong now? So we want to analyze those things, maybe. Fine.
Yeah.
So what we are doing, we are just analyzing 4 years data. Fine. So four
Yes.
years data we are analyzing, and we want to understand. We want to just know the percentage of consumer segment in 2011 for the entire data set in this market, Africa market. So how you
Yeah.
can, calculate this just by seeing this data set. Okay, I'm just removing it, removing the filter. Just seeing this data set. Okay, how we can calculate the percentage of this consumer only 2011, this 2011 consumer segment in Africa market only. We want to just
It's
get the
percentage
percentage.
of total, right? You have to.
Percentage
Yeah.
percentage of this only. Yeah,
Yeah.
only this market, Africa market. So what we can do?
We have to go do a percentage of total in Africa alone
Huh.
for the year
So
2011. Yeah.
yes, only we have to get the percentage of total only in Africa, right? So we
Yeah.
have to total the entire this pane. This is called a pane, right? We have to
Okay.
sum all of these values, total all of these values, right?
Yeah.
And once we do it, just we have to, what we have to do after we do the sum, we have to get the percentage by just this cell 2011 consumer sale divided by total, right?
Yes.
That will give us
Yeah.
the percentage. Fine. So this can be done very easily in Tableau. And how it can be done? Just using the table calculation. Just you see, add a table calculation. Fine. And here you can see we have different calculation. We want to get the percent of total, and percent of total means what? In entire table? No, we don't want the percent of total for entire table. If we just give the entire table, that will give the percent of each segment for each market and for a particular year, every year, right? It will give me the percentage. Fine. But we don't want this way. We want only for Africa, right? Only for Africa, just we want the percentage only for Africa. So in that case, what we have to do, we can just go for the
Yeah.
pen or pen down, right? It's so easy here. So just go for the pen, and now you can see entire it is giving the percentage only for this pen, right? And if you see here for all the pens, now for the all the pens, it is already calculated. Yeah, this is calculated for Canada market. This percentage is calculated for only EMEA market. This is calculated for Europe, LATAM, and US. Right. So everything, and this is done so easily. Right. You don't have to do anything special to do this calculation. Fine. Similarly, if you want to just know the percentage in 2014, in this case, so entire we have this entire data, right? Entire data set. So in this entire data set, we want to just know, we want to just have the percentage year wise. Okay. For each year, we want to take for each market, each of the market, we want to take it 100%. Okay. For Africa, 2011, we want to take 100% and we want to know what is the percentage of consumer, corporate, and home office sales during that time. Fine. So what we can do? We have to just use our compute using. So we have now just we have applied already the percent of total. So what we can do? We can just do the pen down. Pen down means it will just use the pen, only this pen, single pen, right? So each pen here, each pen it will be using computing the table calculation. Now we have this pen down, and you can see entire each of this pen, right? And this down side, it will take it as 100%. This is 100%. This is 100%, and this is 100%. Fine. All of these are 100%. Now you can easily get the percentage in 2011 only in if we take the only 2011 data for Africa market. So what was the percentage of different consumer, different segment, okay, during that time, right? So you can also get the information quarter wise. Okay, you want to so these fields, right? This direction fields 2011 to 2014, right? These fields, we can say these are addressing fields which are addressing the data. Okay, here these fields are addressing this data. Okay, defines the direction of calculations. Fine. And these fields, segment, market, these are defining the scope, for group. Okay, how we can do the calculation. Fine. So these Africa market, segment market, these are giving me the partitioning, yeah, scope. Like what is the scope for this calculation, right? So you can understand here now that how we can use the table calculation and
Yes.
compute, yeah, compute using and all these things. So differently you can also want to, if you want to compute the percentages or any other table calculation here, the difference, and we will see the usage of many of these things in during chart creation also, like difference, percent of difference, right? Rank, when the rank is created, right? For see here what we have done, just rank. Okay, ranked based on the sales, right? Bigger sales, higher rank, that means one. This is second sales, this is third, right? So that's how you will be able to create. Fine. The You will be able to know, okay, which is bigger, which is higher. So that these kind of things you will be able to create. So we'll see. Okay, this is the not right case to show the rank. Okay, we'll also see that kind of calculation. Fine. So descending is ascending. So all of these based on your data available, right? Availability, it will create the different calculations, table calculations. So based on whatever data or whatever calculation method you are getting, so percentile, right? What is the percentile and all these things, right? So you have to understand this thing. So right, these are some statistical terms, right? This rank or this percentile, right? All of these, mostly, most of these are statistical terms, but these are difference from and all these things. These are also used in comparing data from two different timeline, maybe in the previous year and this year, okay, next year. So here you can see the difference of, we may want to know the difference or the sales difference, right, between 2011 2012 and 2011. And this we always do, right? This comparison we always do. Okay, that which year we got more sales, more profit, maybe. So 2011 and 2012. So we want to know the difference or percent increase, right? How much sales, okay, how much increase in sales has happened between 2011 and 2012. Fine. So that way, what we can do to get this percent increase, to get this increase, we can create this difference from, and we have to set the computing method, compute using, okay, and this can be done using like compute using table across will check each of the row, right? And it will be from left to right to left. And you can see that from 2012 and 2011, the difference is 26,000, and this is the increased difference. So now we can say this is increment, right? The sales has gone up, right? In 2012, it is more. The sales has gone up from 2011 to 2012, 26,000. But from 2012 to 2013, it has it has also increased, right? But it has increased less. Now again in 2014, it has increased much more than these previous years, right? So we can analyze our data. Maybe we had a special campaign in 2014, and we have got more sales in this case, right? So these few things, okay, we for analyzing these things, we can use this computation method, table across method, table calculation method will help us, greatly. Okay, so now we want to also see one of the charts, like this column chart we created before. Okay, this is bar chart, so this is column chart, right? And let's create in a column chart, and we want to see the usage of this table calculation, how we can use the table calculation in this chart creation, right? We want to have our data column sales across different segment. Okay, let's see. uh, Category of information and segment. So in segment, maybe we want to have it in the segment, maybe in the columns, fine. And also we want to have the cells in the rows. Now we also want to have this data we want to see in category wise, maybe category. Okay, and would like to give this color. So now this is stacked, right? This is a stacked chart, stacked column chart. We would like to get the clustered column chart. What is clustered column chart? So do you know what is clustered column chart?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay. So now
Yeah.
we have this chart, right, stacked on top of each other here.
Yeah.
You can see. And these are the different category. This is
Yes.
furniture.
Yes.
This is office supplies. This is different category, right?
Yeah.
We would like
Technology.
to, yes, technology. So we would like to see these side by side here, here. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Now.
that is clustered chart, right? Clustered column chart. But we don't have the easy way to do this, to create that. Fine.
Okay.
Let's see this data in the, okay. So this is the data we have, and we want to show this data. So now you can see the category in the row, right? And segment in the column, right? These are the fields
Yes.
defining this data. Let's see. Uh, mhm. So sum of cells, we'll just put it in the rows, and category will be in colors. So for side by side, to keep it in the side by side, right? What we have to do, we are going to create a calculated field. Okay, and let's see, we are going to create a calculated field. That and that's how these calculations, right? All of these calculations, and this is easy to create, right? You have to just go and you can just go down and just click any on the space, empty space, and right click. You will get the calculated, create calculated field. Fine. Here, now you have the calculation append. This is the window where you can write your own calculation, all the calculations, and you have all the suggested, functions available, date functions and any other functions, right? All of many of these, all those Windows functions. So we'll see almost many of these things. Okay, and yeah, so all of these we are going to, most of these are we are going to see, okay, during our entire course. Fine. So just want to give the heads up on this calculation field, how this calculation can be, we can use these calculations for getting the right data, for getting the right data into our charts, visualizations. Fine. So in this case, we have the calculation, right? We want to get these data side by side. So we have to use both of these, calculation and also the table, calculation method. Okay. So let's see. We want to get index. Okay, and what does this index will do? Let's see. This, if we just type index, it gives us a function index. And you can see when you just type the, when you just type the function, you will get the information regarding that, right? This will return the index of the current row in the partition. Understand? This will return the index. Okay, index will start from 1 to n, whatever number of rows are there available, right? So example, like here first row will get one index, right? Let's see what it is doing. Okay, and here once you have the correct calculation, it will give you the information like, okay, this is valid. Fine. So let's see what we can do. We can just create it. Fine. Now the index is created in this table, and we want to use this in the visualization. Okay. In this case, right, the all the rows, and we will like to have it in the column. Okay. So it will create different columns. Fine. Now you can see the data is not still it is not coming correct. Fine. And where here only we can use the table calculation. We can see now the data in the table, and we'll see what is there in this data. Okay. We have this data in this way, right? And we have to get this data in the different columns, right? We have to get this indexed information, right? Differently for all of these, right? And let's see what we can do. We can just have this, go back, and here if we just change the compute method, okay, compute method from table across to segment, or here we have the category information, right? We are having different category data. So if we just change the computation to category, so index will be computed on category only. Now let's see for each category. Now this is one category, one, two, three, right? For each of this category in within this segment, okay, for each category, now the index is set. Okay, uh, are you getting this? Just a second.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so this is the case where you can use this table calculation, right? And you have used the calculation on calculated field. You have to create for giving index to different data. Okay, so different row you are creating here. So each of the row is assigned one index, and the row is created how? This row is created. We are giving the row to each category. We are creating a row. Okay, we are creating. We are saying that you consider each category as a row. You get you are getting it.
Yeah.
Is this so? Suppose we are say earlier what was happening? Earlier we were just doing the table across, which was taking this one consumer as as the row, different rows again, right? And because of that segment, each of these was having one uh, the numbers was calculation was happening on that. Okay, and each of these was having the same data. Now once we are saying this category, compute the index on category, so each of the category will be provided the index, each of this category under this consumer. Okay, and that way you this is grouped together. Fine. Now it is having a different you know uh, line, right? Different. It is now partition. This within this partition, consumer partition, right? You are getting this as a different column data. Fine. Uh, Now, once you have this, it's still not in the form of clustered, this clustered column chart, right? We have to do some formatting. In this case, what we can do, either we can just increase the width of these columns. So how this can be done? You can just increase the columns using this, or if it is not still not correct, right, if we are not getting the correct width, maybe we can also decrease this and see. All of these can be done. And if okay, if it is not also serving the purpose, we can go for the size, fixed size, right? This way also you will get a better chart, right? And now in this case, you can also give the number of units here. Like if you give the two number of two units, you will see that this will overlap with each other, right? Overlapping with each other. This is not correct. So one unit is axis unit is fine, or just automatic unit, whatever it is taking. This is fine. Okay, and left aligned, right aligned, you can make all of those things fine. The center aligned, so these things you can do. Apart from that, you may don't want to have this index present in at the bottom, because it will not give the look of the cluster chart, right? Cluster column chart. So in that case, what we can do, we can just get rid of this. And we have also seen this before, that right click on this column, right? And just remove the header. Right click on this header, and just there is checkbox, right? Uncheck that box. Fine. So that will be removed. Now we may also want to, here you can see the colors, right? Each color is belonging to different category. We may also want to give the text, right? And this is so easy, right? This is so easy here using this uh, label. You can just give the category information. Category, you can just put on the label, and all of these are you can see in this bar, right? You don't want to see this vertical way, you want to see horizontal. So you can also check these options, allow labels to overlap the marks, maybe. So this way, also you can also remove, also you can change the fonts and all those things, right? Text and all those informations, the alignments, right? Every of these things can be done. And also you can check these marks to mean, max, or whatever selected one, okay, or whichever we are selecting, maybe. So we are getting this, right? So that all those things you can do. Right? Let's see, giving all this one. Right. And you can increase the size in this case. Fine. That way you will be able to do the table computation. So table calculation and compute using, right? You can, and we'll going forward also, we will see these things many times. Okay, almost everywhere we need these computation, table calculation, and this compute using. And just you need to just understand how these table calculations works. Table calculation, how this is work, and how we have to, what we have to do, right, to use the compute using, and what compute using is doing. Fine. So you have to understand that part. Okay. So now we almost have understood this, what is this, table calculation, how we can use the table calculation, and this is so easy. And what are the different things we have in the table calculation? Fine. And what is this compute using? What is this used for? So this is used for table calculation. And in the table, so wherever we have data, right? We have data here. We have data in pie chart, right? We have data in bar chart. So every data is always in the form of table somewhere, right? So table data only we are showing here. Fine. So that all of those things, like here you want to check the difference. Maybe you want to get the you want to compute the difference between the what is this? These are some sales. Okay, sales informations. Fine. So you want to compute the difference of sales between different customers, right? Or if you have some years, okay, you had something else maybe. So you can also add table calculation and calculate the difference in table down, difference from in table down, and you can see like this, it will be calculated. For first one, there is no difference. For first one, there is no difference. From second one, right, you will get the difference, right? Because for first one there will be no previous things, right? And also you can also similar situation will come. Okay, similar situation will come where you would like to see the difference, okay, from previous one to next one. Okay, we'll also see the cases where we have to check the previous we want to get the percentage like this. Okay, maybe to then we want to check the sales percentage here. Here we have the different sales, right? And we can also uh, we can even give the sales information. Okay, we are removing the category text and we are giving the cells in the text. Okay, now we want to see the these are different furniture. Okay, different category. So this checking within category is not that good. Maybe we can use the year, order year. Okay, and order year in the category. Maybe we are just removing this category from here and we are using ordered year. Order year. Okay. This order year will not be used because this cannot be compute. Okay. This computation, and we have to use this category. Now, we can have the dimensions, different dimensions, okay, because compute using will be done using different dimensions, okay, that we have to see. So we can just interchange the segment and category within segment. Maybe this segment we can just remove from here, and we can have it here in color, and this segment and this category we can subcategory we can have it in this place maybe. And we have to again we have to recompute uh, maybe what is happening here is segment we have given the color. Fine. Okay, so what happens, like each of the category, right, the single category furniture is coming from one segment only, so we will not have the different color. Fine. Consumer, corporate, and home for furniture, it will come from one segment, right? This, okay, this we have given in text, so not text, in color. Fine. So now we have these, and we want to just calculate the index. In this case, we have to what we have to do, before we have given this index compute using category, we have to give the segment, change it to segment. Now it is changed to segment, and it is that easy, right? To create now to create the cluster chart. So we have almost done with the table calculation. So we'll also see later in the other things, like how we can use this table calculation for other things also, and we'll see the different calculations. Now we want to see various calculations. Okay. uh, we want to see the various calculations, and for that calculated field, and for that we let's get one data that we want to add some more data into. Okay, so this may be the global stores, right? This is the global stores, and now we have to, and global stores, what is doing? So region people error, maybe this data is not available. Just removing it. And now we can see the different charts. So, okay, this is fine, right? Now we want to add another data, and we want to see the capability of calculated fields. Fine. What data we want to add? We want to add a text file, Microsoft Excel file. Okay. I think someone asked like how we can, get the data. Whether we should use this connection from here add, or we can use the other connections from data new source, or what is the way to get the data. Okay, we can get our data, okay, from anywhere. What matters is we have to just join, or the blending, whatever we are using, right? So that has to be applied properly, and we will see the joins and the blending of different data sources, okay, in the later classes. So for now, what we are just going to see, we are just going to see some calculations. Okay, let's get this data, and this data is null handling data. Let's see what is this data. So we have now another data set. Fine, let's go to that. Okay, so what is this giving? So we have sheet one, right? Sheet one data. So let's see. this is a different data set. Let's get it in the model. Okay. So now let's see in this sheet one, we have this in the rows maybe, and these numbers, right? We can put it in the text. Fine. So now here you can see one of the things, right? We have our data set, fine, where we have null values. Okay. We would like to use this. We would like to get the we would like to use this. Uh, uh, we'd like to use a function, and we want to get the zeros here. Okay. How we can apply, how we can get the we can fix this data. So in Tableau, right? In Tableau, we don't have the capability to do much of the pre-processing, data pre-processing, right? Like removing, like removing the junk values, or pre-processing the data where we have null values and all those things. So directly, if we just want to do some pre-processing, we will not be able to do all those things, okay, directly. But what we can do to pre-process this data, fine. To pre-process it, we have to use like some kind of these functions, calculated functions. Here we want to just handle the null values, right? If you want to use the null value handling, if you want to do, right, how we can do this null handling. Okay. So we have some functions where we can give for the null, right? We can give some zero values. Okay. So let's see. We would like to create a function, calculated field. Okay. And here the calculated field will be like Zn, something like that. Okay. Zero, put is the Zn column. Zero null, we are just using the uh, giving the null value, changing the null value to 0. So there is a function called Jden, and you will see what it does. It returns the expression if it is not null. If it is not null, then it is giving me the data. But if it is null, then what is it giving me? This is giving me 0. Fine. So we have a data here. And what is this data? This is number, fine, from this sheet, category sheet. So we want to use this number, right? And we want to handle this data, we want to give 0 to wherever there is a null value, fine. So now what we can do, just create, and you can see here the calculation is valid. So once you have a correct calculation, right, if you don't have a correct calculation, you will see that this calculation contains errors, this kind of, and what kind of errors, right? So here you can see the details. Just click on this down arrow, fine, and you will see the details of this column. Column name missing, right? What is that missing? That bracket. Okay. So you have to also check if there is some issues happening with your calculation. You can always check, right, and see the details. Based on the details, you can take the next action, right? What to be done. Fine. So let's see. Now we have this calculated created JN column. Fine. So the same column we can now just use it. Fine. We can use this column in place of this number. So if we just use this JN column or JN number here, just replace this, and you will see that this is giving me the correct data. Fine. So this is one of the small, simple example of the calculation field. So all of this calculation field, let's see. So we will be mostly working on this calculation field to get our correct data, right? To get whatever calculations we have, like date difference, we want to get the number of days. Okay, so like date difference and all of these date functions are there, right? So date part, years, and all those things. Maybe because of in some if else statement we have, right? So all of these, and you will get all the intelligence, right? So intelligent options you will get all those based on your whatever you are typing here. So based on the typing, it is giving you all the options of different functions, if null and rank modified, all the date difference. So related to all if, right, you are getting all of the functions available here. So you will also will see most of these functions, different functions, date functions. Then we will see the aggregation functions, all of those aggregation functions, window functions even. Fine. So and in these aggregation functions, we have this average, we have so many things, right? So all of this, and also the window functions, right? All of these window functions, many of these. So we'll see most of these functions I mean, so as we go ahead. Fine. Now, uh, let's see one of the scenario, okay, where we can use these functions and JSON and different functions. Fine. There is some function called lookup, right? Lookup, lookup uh, values, maybe lookup values. So what does this lookup function does? Lookup values. So what does it do? Okay. So you just check here the expression, all those expressions and the examples, even the examples will be given here. Okay. So you can always whatever calculation you are doing, right? Whatever functions you are using, you can always check the information regarding the function at this right hand side. Fine. And you will be also get you can also get the functions and insert from here. Okay. So now what it does, it returns the value of the given expression in a target row. Wherever we want to, suppose we want to get this data, okay, in different row, maybe, right? So in a target row, we can show this data. So this data we want to show in second row. Second data we want to show in third row. So that way we want to just we can also get our data. So let's see what we can just expect from this data. Let's look up values, right? And we want to give the JSON calculation, JSON column, right? Just without offset, right? We have to give some offset data. Offset means whether from first, okay, you want to get the data, or zero. Zero means it will just have the same data on the same row. Okay. So maybe let's see. It is look up. Mhm. We'll just see what is happening. Must be aggregate. Okay. Yeah. So this data, right? This data should be in aggregated form. Fine. This one should be always in aggregate, and yeah, you have to always remember that whatever functions we are using, right? We will be using always the aggregated data. Okay. And now you can see this is valid. Fine. This calculation is valid. So what we have just seen that to use this, function, you have to use the aggregated data, aggregated information. Fine. Now we would like to, just check, okay, like what this lookup value provides in this case. Let's see, and let's have it side by side. Okay, side by side means how we can have it side by side. So two measures, right? Two measures, how we can have it side by side. Any idea? No? Okay. To have it side by side, we have already seen that we have to use the measure names and measure values. Fine. This is Jaden column, Jaden values, and this is different column. This is lookup values. Fine. Let's see. We can just directly, double click it. We can also double click, right? We have done the double click, and you are able to see the data. Okay, just double clicking, fine. You are getting all the measures. Now we have the lookup values and ZN values. So you are getting the lookup values and ZN values side by side, right? Along table down, fine. This we have got along table down, and now we'll see. We can also have the table across if you have table across data, fine. We will be able to see here now that if we change the lookup values, okay, if we edit this and if we make it to uh, like, okay, if we make it to one, that means next one, next row, we are getting in the first one. Let's see what is doing. The next row, it is taking the first one. Next, whatever next row is there, it is bringing in to the first position. So are you seeing it? Like what this offset is doing for the lookup values, right? Offset is setting like whatever offset we are giving. +1 means the next value, fine, and -1 means the previous value, previous one. -n means previous n values, right? So here, if you see, if you are giving -1, let's give -1, and you will see that 1 will be coming to the B position, B row, next row. Let's see. Now, for the first row, you don't have any data. Okay, we don't have any data on the first row, and for the second row, we are getting now the first row data we are getting in the second row. So this how these lookup values, right, will work. So do you have any question on this Jaden and lookup?
No.
Fine. So what we are going to do next is,
So we can create like this, and we can create the difference, right, between two columns, something like that.
Yeah, you can create here with this, you can create always the difference between using compute using, okay. Here you have the data, fine, lookup values, and table calculation, you can add it. So whatever table calculation you can do, now we have only table down, okay. And what, and here the calculations, right? Table calculations is lookup calculation, right? So any other calculations, we to do the calculation of difference, what we have to do, we have to create another calculated field, and we have to use the lookup values in that calculated field, okay. So like here, in this case, you can see, so you want to use, this value, right? This lookup value here, -1, and you want to do minus of some other values, right? Lookup value 2 or lookup value 1, right? So this way you have to calculate your data, maybe. Okay. You have to calculate your data, and based on the scenario, whatever scenario you have, right? A lookup value, what it will give you? It will give you the data only for this particular row, this row, whatever cell you have. Now you want to adjust your data, move your data ahead, or before, so that you can just use, okay, using what value of this calculation will be applied to, either will be table or compute using this, this will be available for you. But for the calculation, table calculation, sum, or the other calculations, right, you have to apply it here itself in the calculation field, because you are already applying a calculation here. Okay. So if you are already applying a calculation, on top of that, the basic whatever available calculation were there, those will not be available. Like running total, or rank directly will not be available. You have to use in the calculated field inside here. Is it clear?
Yeah, got it, got it.
Fine. So yeah. So all of the, aggregated data, aggregate information, whatever you are already you are getting. So here table calculation, basic, fundamental calculations will be available only for those columns which is not calculated. Okay. Similarly, you will see in the other cases, right? When you create any chart and using a calculated field, right? You will not get the option of these, measure sum and all these things. Okay. You will not get all of these options because those are already aggregated, right? If it is already aggregated, then you cannot aggregate it again. You cannot, apply a calculation again on top of the, already applied calculation. Fine. So that you have to understand. Okay. Now, let's say we would like to, maybe we want to, so we want to check on a, okay, the number of sales, or the quantities, okay, ordered numbers, maybe uh, for different frequency, maybe we can check for the country, or ordered priority, okay. On different order priority, we can have it in the columns, critical, and we can check the different order priority based on the ship mode, maybe. So first class, how many, maybe the numbers, right? We want to check the numbers from this. And first class, how many critical orders are there? What are the frequency? Okay, the critical orders, right? The same day orders, same day critical orders, right? So based on these, what are the we want to check? We would like to check the, maybe the quantities. Okay, maybe the quantities we want to check. different quantities we want to check here. So now, in this case, these many critical quantities orders are there for first class, okay, and this high order priority is there. So this we can just make out from this table, but we see also there are some null values. Fine. So in this case, how you are going to handle this data? So can you just tell me like how we can handle this data?
By using the ZN.
Yes, by using the JDN, right? So this kind of scenarios will be there. Like by using the JDN function, we have to use the JDN function on this quantity, right? And on again, we can, yeah, we can use the lookup values on the JDN function also, or we'll just see like how. Let's see the JDN con, and we are just removing, we are editing. We are not going to have that. So here we are going to have this JDN with the fine. Uh, we are going to have this JDN. First, we are going to have this lookup values, lookup function, and we are going to use all of these values in that lookup, right? So what are these values? These are quantity information, right? We can give a offset of 0, and we have to give sum of quantity, right? We have to always use the aggregation. Maybe I'll just create this. Fine. This is a valid one. Let's see. So we have to, what has happened is like, okay, this is wrong data. So we are just going to remove this, not an issue. And also we have this JDN column as something somewhat wrong, right? So we have already changed this JDN value. That's fine. Not going to use this. So now this value, right? Here we have this lookup values. Which one we did? JSON values. Fine. This JSON column data we can use in the okay. We can use in the uh, in this place of say, quantity. Fine. Now you can just rename it quantity, right? Ordered, right? So like this, you can use your these calculated fields to evaluate your data, to use this data to evaluate your data, and to have the required data in your visuals. Okay, so that will also will see the various cases uh, while comes. Okay, so now we would like to, so this is just the start for the calculated field. Fine. Calculated columns, whatever calculated columns we are going to create. So these fields we are just, this is the start, and we'll start working on these calculated fields now onwards. Fine. Every day. And the table calculation basic table calculations, whatever you have seen. So you have to understand that when you have a calculated field, right? So you are using the calculation, you are using the aggregate functions or whatever calculations you are using, you can compute those calculations. Now these calculations you can see here, this is calculated calculation, right? And this is applied to table, right? This calculation is applied to table already. Now we can only do this compute using, right? So this can be calculated using table across, like this way it is calculated now. And because this is lookup value and Jden, so and we have given 0, so that is not an issue, right? Everything will be same. But in some other cases, okay, some other cases it will be little different. Okay. Now here you can see that table calculation we have just done. It's across and down, and it's that way it is not applying. So this compute using method, right? This compute using method is very important. Okay. Otherwise, you will see here the same calculation we have applied. Fine. The same calculation we have applied, and it is not, now it is not giving me the 0 values, right? So that means Jden is not computed correctly. Okay. And why it is not computed correctly? Because it is finding some data. Okay. It is finding some data in case of this table down or something has happened. Okay. And you will be able to see table across and down. It is checking table across, okay, and then down. So in that case, it is not able to find the null values. And that way, if it is not able to find the null values and it is not giving me the 0, it is not changing it to 0, right? So that will we have to also pay attention to this computing whenever we are calculating any field. Otherwise, you will think, okay, I have applied the correct calculation, I have applied the correct functions, but the data is not coming correct. Fine. So that we have to understand these things, compute using and all. And so how those compute using works. Fine. Now we will be seeing one of the visuals called tree map. Okay. So we have seen. So any question on this calculated fields and these compute using and these things, table calculations? Any question?
No, I'm good.
Okay, fine. So now the next thing is we are going to see one of the chart called the tree map. Okay, have you ever heard about the tree map? Like, what is this chart? No. Fine. Okay, let's go ahead with the tree map. Suppose we are showing our customer information. Okay. Suppose we have a large number of data. Okay, large number of values, and we want to show the sales information for each of our customers. When we are showing, you can see the scroll bar, right? And it has almost how many marks? It has 795 marks. So each of these are 1 marks. Fine. Each of these are 1 marks. So what is saying that it has 791 marks. Okay. These many, maybe these many customers are available in this data set. Fine. Okay, but we will not be, maybe we are not uh, uh, going to visualize this much of data in a column chart, right? Or in any chart. But uh, this there may be 50 or 60 categories may be available, right, in the data set, or we would like to visualize that much of information in our chart. We would like to, maybe, okay, in some cases, some particular cases. Fine. But if you see this data, right, if you see this chart, it will not look a good fit, for this. Okay, fine. These are huge amount of data, lots of data, and we would like to show many of our category in one chart, many of our category information in one chart, right? In that case, uh, whether this chart, column chart, or this, bar chart, maybe we can give this, we can just replace it, and we can give the customer in columns and sales on top, maybe, and customer at the bottom, right? Which chart is better in this case, like whether this bar chart or column chart, to show all of this data, which chart is better in your opinion? So if you show this data, customer, this huge numbers of uh, you know categories are there, huge number of data points are there, and we want to show that data. So whether this bar chart is better or this column chart is better?
I feel table should be better.
Table.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see in the table. Okay, so in table also, would you be able to analyze anything with this table data?
No.
So, chart is always, visualization is always a better form to analyze the data. Okay, that's why we are
Yeah.
using the visualizations, charts. Fine.
Okay.
So, if you see this case, right, in this case, this bar chart, and the other way, yeah, here you can see in this column chart, right? So I feel that this is, for huge number of categories of data points, you know we the column chart, bar chart is better than the column chart, and
Okay.
it is better. Okay, you can see this data, if you go give up and down. So this is better than the column chart. We can also
Yeah.
sort it. We can also sort it. Okay, and we can check. But if you have only few number of data points, maybe some 15, 20, or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have just few number of data point, then it is fine. And also, in some cases where now here you have comparable amount of cells, okay, you may have a huge difference in cells. Here you can see in the down, you have the very smaller cells, right? So if you suppose this case we have a smaller cells, and in other cases, maybe here we have higher cells, and immediately we have very small cells, right? So small cells, and the comparison will be so less. And we'll have, if we have so much of data point, many data points, okay, that case, it will be difficult to analyze. It will be difficult to fit all of our data. Here also you can see more than these many, in more than this many data. Okay, let's fit in entire view. Fine. So now you can see, if you are fitting everything in this view, how it looks like. Okay. Now the same thing, standard, and this is the standard way. So that means all of our data is not getting fitted, right? And we will not be able to analyze properly, right? So to there is another solution, another chart which will give us the proper uh, which will be proper for for this, okay, to create this chart and to show this data. So what is that chart? That chart you can see here. We have a chart called tree map. Okay, in this tree map, we'll be able to see one or two measures, one or more dimensions. Fine. Let's see how we can. Now you can see all of the data is fitted into one chart. Okay, all of the data is fitted into one chart. This is in tree map, right? You will be able to see, you will be able to show a huge amount of data. A huge amount of data in tree map, you will be able to show the huge amount of data, and the data will be in sorted order. Okay, here you can see the bigger shares, and here you can see this first line. It has the sorted data. Okay, bigger amount. Then again, it is in sorted order. Here you can see. So from top to bottom, it is decreasing, and from left to right, it is decreasing. The data points are decreasing, and from top to bottom, it is decreasing. Fine. So data is in sorted order, and you can show a huge amount of data in this. Fine. Also, the customers, right? Here, the color is put on the cells. Fine. We may also have this color. Now, we have put the customer, right? We can do all of this customization, and you can see, okay, I have given the okay. These are you can see that using different category data, we are creating this. Fine. Though what we want to do, we have the data for customer, so we want to just see the colors on different customers. Okay, using different color palettes. So you will see here the different colors, right? Based on this, customer is okay. So now you will be able to show your entire data set in one chart, and that is the tree map chart. Fine. Now what we want to do, what we want to know, that so this is not the right data set we are going to show here, right? Why? Because customer is detail level information, and there will be thousands of customers. So this is the not right use case for this one. But in case where you have a huge number of data points, huge number of categories, right? And you want to like product type, maybe you have different types of products. Okay, maybe you have different type of category. Here we have only three category, but you may have 15 20 category information. So in that case, right, in those cases, what you have to do, you can use this tree map chart to show your data. Let's see. We want to show this category information, right? So already we have this the size should be set on the sales amount. The size, whatever the size of the category will be there, that has to be set on the sales amount, and the category should be put on the color. Fine. So this is creating the tree map here. Fine. In this case, right, again, I want to just one thing, like in this, Tableau, you are getting the tree map in this order, like first column, you are getting the entire, from top to bottom, you are getting this data like this, first column. But in some of the tools, you have the same tree map, which will give you data. The the higher values will be on the left top corner, and the decreasing order, the value will be on the row wise. Okay, from left to right, then again down, left to right, then down. But here in this case, in Tableau, what we are seeing, that the data is there in the first, top to down, the data will be in decreasing order, then again it will take the left to right. Okay, left to right, it will go then. So first table down, then across, table down, then across, right? So that will be the value. Okay, fine. Now what we are going to show is, we can also show the different information on this. Fine. So what are the different information? You can show the table amount, like this category information. So just in the labels, you can give this. And also what you can do, you can also show this. Okay, maximum, minimum you want to do, you can also give that. Fine. Any highlighted, you can so this is also, you have to check the scope is entire table, maximum, minimum. Okay, so sales, you can, if you just give the sales scope, so all these things will be considered. So now the selected, and so whatever you will select, you will it will give you the labels. Fine. And similarly, you can change the these on text informations and all these things. Fine. And show marks, now all. Okay, you can use all. Fine. And with this, you can associate again another measures. You can have in the tooltip, or you can even show the measures, sales informations, right, in the tooltip, right, with the along with the labels. Fine. You can have all of these sales informations. Okay. uh, so do you have any question on this tree map?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. And I think we don't have much in the tree map. Okay. It's like the usual, visuals. Fine. So we would like to now go to the next visual, which requires, a lot of attention, and it requires also some practice. Okay. Right. That is used for machine learning also, and that is very useful. Chart. Let's see what is that. So we have the box plot. So we have just seen the tree maps, table calculations, and calculated fields, right? Compute using. And we will now onwards, we will be using all of these table calculations, calculated fields, and compute using almost on every sessions. Fine. And we have just seen the tree map. We'll this box plot. Let's see what is this box plot. Have you ever heard about the box plot? So any idea of the box plot? What is this box plot, or any, have you ever heard of it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, please go
Fine.
ahead.
Yeah. So yes.
In case of,
So
in the outlier something,
correct,
that,
correct, correct,
yeah,
correct. So like finding outliers, or distribution, checking distribution, or checking the skewness in data. Okay. And what is this box plot? Fine. The use we have to find the outliers. Okay, that means outliers means unusual transactions. Okay, which is not usual, and that will be found out using these box plot. This is box plot, and this is also called 5 point summary. Okay, you are having here 5 points, right? Here you are seeing the median. This is a box plot picture, fine. And here is the red line here. You can see this is a median line. These are all data points. Here you can see these are all data points, the dots, and you have the data points also inside this, which is now used by the box plot. Okay, here we can see these box ended, right? Here ends, box ends, Q1 and Q3. These are showing the 25 percentile and 75 percentile of value. Okay, these are all you can statistical words. Okay, statistical words like for percentiles, and you already know that what is percentile. Okay, you may have heard, at least you may have heard about the percentile. Okay, so this gives the volume. Here you can see also I have the definitions. Okay, here. So this gives in numbers, okay, the percentiles, how many values are there before that, how many values are after that, right? So median in the median, so it will have around uh, like this 50% will be in the median, right? 50% of the entire data set, entire data volume, right, is the median. It will be the middle point. If you are here, you can see. So this data, if you are having this data, you have this many people, right? And these are the income. So now we want to check the medians and all. So you have to calculate the what will be the medians. So there are these frequencies will be there for income values and all these things, right? So here what we can say, that median will be, if we are giving the increasing order, you know, if you are ordering the data, so the middle point will be the median. Okay, so that will be, and the this quartile, right, Q1 and Q2, the half of this middle point of this first half will be the first quarter, and the middle point of the second half will be the second third Q3, quartile 3, fine. 75 percentile or 25 percentile, right? So this will be all of these points will be shown in the box plot, right? So a box plot is used for, and you have to understand all of this, and you have to also practice on this. What is this interquartile range? Okay, how this is calculated. Interquartile range is nothing but the Q3 minus Q1. So this is uh, this will be interquartile range, Q3 minus Q1, right? And these endpoints here you can see in the box, these are called hinges. Okay, these endpoints here you see, these are called hinges, and then after that you have a line attached to that. Okay, this is called whisker. Name of this line is whisker, and you have here also one vertical line. This is called the cap. Okay, means if the data, okay, data is distributed among within this line, so this is fine. Okay, and within this we can only find out, okay, what is the, whether the data is symmetrically distributed or data is skewed or not. But outside of this data, outside of this box, all of these points, whatever data will be there, those are called outliers. That means those are unusual transactions, maybe. This may be bad transactions, this may be good transactions. Okay, in case of fraudulent in case of bank frauds, right, loan frauds and all those things, right, insurance frauds or something like that, right, these kind of methods will be used to find out the outliers, right? Based on based on millions of transactions, we would like to know that whose transaction is out of uh, not falling within this range, and then we have to analyze, okay, why that transaction is not falling, whether that person has done some fraud or something like that, right? So those that all of these things will be this is one of the way to find out the outliers, not the single way, not the only way, okay. This is one of the way. And we have also clustering for finding out the outliers, okay. We have even some other methods also. Machine learning methods will be using the clustering and all those things for all of these capabilities, right? And we will be using this box plot or scatter plot or something like that to analyze our data, okay, to analyze our data for getting for applying a model in machine learning, right? Or finding out an outliers while we are just doing the data analytics. If we are using in machine learning, then we will be trying to get our data normalized. We will be trying to we will be trying to get our data normalized so that our model works fine, our model doesn't give any issues, right? If we have skewed data in the model, if you have skewed data, then definitely the data will be biased, right? And model will not predict the information, the data correctly while using the machine learning models, fine. So this will be used in those cases to do data exploratory analysis, right? To see the distribution of data in machine learning, fine. And finding out outliers and all. So these outliers from the model data set, right, training data set, you would like to remove these outliers, okay. In case of you are working in the machine learning, for the machine learning you are preparing your data. If you are preparing your data set, then you will be doing all those things, fine. So yeah, that is the just the theory part. So you have to understand these, what are these quartile, okay. What is this 25 percentile and on 75 percentile? So what I can just say, that this is median is the half of the entire data set, okay. And the quartile one is the half of this first half of the data set, okay. Q3 is the second half of the data set. So all of this, and interquartile range is this Q3 minus Q1 is the interquartile range. This length will be, minimum data will be Q1 minus 1.5 into interquartile range. That is the till that point we have the whiskers. And what is the usage of this? Let's see. We have these data, okay. We want to see the symmetricity or skewness in the data, right? If you can see here, if it is a normal distribution, if the data is distributed normally means almost suppose in a company, these are the employees, right? And all these employees having this income salary, fine. Suppose almost the distribution among the different groups is same, right? Similar, okay. This many thousand people have this much amount, and then other this much amount. And if we just get the median values, right, median values of salary, then we'll be able to so all of these things, right? We are analyzing this data. If we are analyzing this data in this distribution, right, in within this box plot, so we'll be finding out whether the data is skewed, data is more number of people is getting less amount of data, and very less number of people having getting more income. So maybe this data positive this distribution, if this is normally distributed, then we will see that the first quartile, the quartile 3 minus quartile 2 will be equal to the quartile 2 minus quartile 1, and the median will be at the middle of this box. That means it is normally distributed like this. This means it will be normally distributed if it is in the middle of the box. Fine. And if it is towards the lower side, this is positive skewed. Okay, positively skewed. That means most of the data, okay, higher values of the data will have, will be on the higher side. Most of the data will be on the higher side. Fine. And negative skew means most of the data will be in the lower side of the distribution. Okay, most of the data will be in the lower side of the distribution if the median is on the higher is away from this lower side. Okay, towards the right. That means it is negative skew. Fine. And we will just in case of we are not going to see means we are not going to discuss all of these things there, but you have to understand what is this box plot is doing and why we are using this box plot, right? And what is the use of this box plot, so that we can just see. So let's see how we can create a box plot. Fine.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Actually, I have to join the Python class with Danish
Okay,
now.
okay, sure. Okay,
Yeah.
then
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
we will then connect on Saturday then. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Fine. Bye.
Yeah, thank you, sir.